Well, welcome everyone to another edition of the Sunday Soul podcast. My name is Dr. Lisa Brewer. I am the CEO of Heart of Inspiration, the creator of the Practical Lightworker, the founder of Lightworker Academy, the Oracle as well. That might sound rather, shall we say, egotistical. I hope not. I think by the end of this episode, you will understand that it is not egotistical. It is foundational and absolutely necessary. And I'm going to be your host for the next however long we pontificate and consider today's subject. I'm so glad that all of you are here sharing this moment with me. I have been taking the last couple of days trying to figure out. I was like, well, what are we going to talk about this week? Was I going to, drop another one of the interviews that I have, or what were we going to discuss? And honestly, it came to me probably about an hour or so before I started recording this. And so the subject for today is the pathway and survival, if you will, of the light worker. What that really means, who's a light worker, who's not, and how we're going to utilize our abilities or our destinies to not only survive but thrive in the upcoming changes in the 3D world. So I will start at the beginning of who is a light worker. I did a talk recently on the Wisdom app. It's a brand new app. We'll try to make sure that we put links down below. It's kind of like a spirituality or wisdom clubhouse, actually. It's rather cool. And I did an opening talk, and I talked about not your mama's light worker. That I am not your mama's light worker. And that in that discussion, I stressed a few things. One, that light workers have kind of become a couple of things. When somebody hears the word light worker, or until recently, until they heard light worker, it was kind of like unicorns and fairy dust and just all, love and light and all that. And while that's true, I think I've defined this before, but let's just play along and let's just define it again. A light worker is simply merely one that bears, not only just bears light, the light of Creator, Mother, Father, God, the universe, all that there is and all that there shall be and all that created the all that we reside in. But not only just one that bears the light, but actually utilizes it, but actually enacts it, but actually puts it into motion, but actually says, I am here to assist humanity in the capacity of helping folks heal, helping folks grow, helping folks become the best that they can be, helping them see the light, if you will. And as we, as humanity right now, and in this stage of our evolutionary process, we're seeing the definite, some would say it's a bifurcation, some would say it's a trifurcation, split, if you will, between those that are going to continue to be controlled by fear and basically enslaved or captivated or captive to it, and those who are going to boldly go forward and creating a new earth, if you will, and living in harmony and living in love and living in unity. And when I say living in love, I mean living free, living healthy, wealthy, and free. Living healthy, wealthy, and free. The Inspired channel, I watch that on YouTube somewhat. I used to watch it more. But they have this mantra, right, where they say, I am healthy, I'm wealthy, I am free. Well, that's lovely. That's living in peace, nothing missing, nothing broken, living a spirit-led, whole and healed, peaceful and prosperous life. So living healthy, wealthy, and free from chains and things like that, and matrices that bind, and living in constructs or matrices that actually help you elevate and allow you to become that which you are meant to, and have the whatever the experience is that you decided to have when you first incarnated into this planet, in this realm. um, Now that might sound like some woo mumbo jumbo, and so hopefully you haven't tuned out quite yet. No matter what your religious or spiritual beliefs are, because I want you to understand that everything that you've thought that has nothing to do with religion or spirituality actually does. Everything that you thought has nothing to do with that actually does, and science is proving that every day. Why do you think this was such a big deal for the folks overseas to turn on CERN? Why has it been such a big deal for them to find the God particle, the God substance? Why was it such a big deal for them to begin to create a black hole and try to understand dark matter? They couldn't control and couldn't recreate the God particle, so you might as well create and recreate and control the antithesis thereof, right? The opposite on the polarity scale, which is dark matter, that consumes rather than illuminates, that constricts rather than expands, right? So everything is that. And yeah, I don't care what area you're in and what your beliefs are. You're there the reality of there being the quantumness of life is being portrayed in all of our movies and television shows. We see it in the uh, incredible AI um, discoveries, and as that is evolving very quickly. We see it in virtual reality. We see it, right, because they're all virtual reality is nothing more than living in a quantum world. It's stepping outside of the construct of the 3D and choosing to put your consciousness into another realm. That's all that it is. AI, artificial intelligence, is nothing more than artificially attempting to recreate the intellect, the soul, as well, for sentience and consciousness. So, the importance of those of us who know that we're light workers, and those of you who are beginning to awaken to that fact, becomes greater and greater every moment of every day, of every hour, of every day, week, month that goes by. It becomes more and more critical that you learn who you are, what you are, and how you operate, and what your purpose is, and fully step into it. So I'm not your mama's light worker. I'm not going to sit here and just, give y'all some feel goods and send you on your way. I want you to feel good. I want you to live in love. I want you to be in harmony. I want you to be empowered. I want all of those things to occur. And that's part of my purpose, right? To assist you in that process. However, just because one is a worker of light doesn't mean that one does not have to confront and understand and help you face the shadow, the dark. Just because one is of light doesn't mean that I'm just like gliding on some hoverboard everywhere, some virtual hoverboard, if you will. I'm not floating around. I'm not levitating, and that's how I get from one place to another. Although, teleportation would be wonderful, and I feel like we should be able to unlock that sooner than later. But anyway, my point is this, is that light workers now have to come to the realization that it's not just like the real soft, and at least some of us. And I think that's been part of the problem, that the term light worker has not been taken seriously. This is just my humble opinion. No one take offense to it. And if you're taking offense to it, to be quite honest, that's exactly what I'm talking about. We've not sought to, as light workers, as a whole, in my estimation, sought to live in the place of neutrality where we can oversee and overlook and see what things are happening, but just call a thing a thing. If you feel ambiguous or ambivalent to something, ambivalent is the word I was looking for. If you feel ambivalent towards it because you're neutral towards it, you can actually speak truth about it without it really drastically affecting you one way or the other. You can hear truth about something without it drastically affecting you one way or the other, without your emotions going in some weird, wonky, like, kind of spike graph and off the charts. You don't internalize it. Why? Because you're living in a space of neutrality where it can be observed, and then you use whatever is necessary. You take from it what you need, utilize it, and then keep it moving. The analysis is so much easier and so much nicer. But what has happened is a few things. First of all, it was real fun, I guess, to be termed a light worker when you really didn't have to worry about anybody coming at you. And you could just simply say, oh, they're just in their 3D. That's cute. That's adorable. That's probably true. But we are coming into a time period right now where we not only have this economic situation happening, but any of you, for instance, I want you to that maybe watch like tarot readers or astrologers, mediums, others on YouTube, or perhaps Instagram, Facebook. Maybe you follow them on Twitter. And I want my fellow practitioners to even talk about this. Reiki practitioners, shamans. There's this weird thing happening where some are being throttled. It is little by little I'm noticing this. But others are being heralded. Some are being throttled, others are being heralded, and they're doing it very slowly. We're seeing and why do I think that? Because you need to potentially silence or mitigate and moderate how much the seers are able to be seen, how much, because I don't care what you're talking about or what your main deal is, as far as you might only do like love tarot or synastry charts, or just kind of not really talk a lot about mundane issues in an astrology transit or whatever, mundane equal worldly, global. However, if at any point in time that switch, because you are in tune with light, the universe, at any point in time, that switch could flip and you could end up saying, hey, I had a dream and this is what was in my dream. Or I heard this, I got this download, and now you have this huge platform. Now it's uncontrollable, right? We saw this happen back last year, I think it was, or early this year. I have trouble with time. Where Facebook stopped the targeted ads. Well, the first place they stopped the targeted ads was in the spirituality realm camp. To this day, I still can't hashtag spirituality, hashtag tarot in order to target my ads for anything like the upcoming guided meditation workshop, upcoming guided meditation certification, creators from the heart, Lightworker liftoff, any of the things that I'm doing to assist the community, to assist humanity, to help you all as you're awakening, and then to grow, right? And then to be able to walk in your purpose, helping to open up and enlighten you to all of the gifts that you have within and the hidden wisdoms. We're about to get to that. The hidden wisdoms that have been hidden from us, primarily because a Christian, because I can't even continue to say it's Judeo-Christian. I guess there is a spot to that, but even in Judaism, there is still the Kabbalah and the Kabbalah practices, and so that's Jewish mysticism, right? That those practices are still like alive and well in a lot of sectors. But because of a religious dogma, and I'm not blaming anybody that's Christian, I'm just saying because of the dogma and the use of using Christianity as a method for control, that is outside of most y'all's control, by the way. But hopefully by the end of this, you'll begin to see how it's really there. They need to throttle those that are listening directly. They need to throttle those that are awakened. They need to throttle and silence those of us who are talking about and teaching and helping people tap into their inner divine, their inner divinity. So we have that, because at any moment in time, anybody could switch and be like, hey, I've been noticing this, and now I have this huge platform that now all this information is going to get out, and they were not expecting it to come from that source. Also, they don't want you to have your light turned on. They do not want you to ascend. They do not want you to unplug from the matrix. They do not want to lose you as an energy source, right? Okay. The next thing that I've been picking up and why we need to be a tad bit, I'm not going to say concerned, I'm just making you aware, is the infiltration of Christianity and Christian politics. Also, the infiltration of Christianity and, so let me say it this way, of both sides. Usually when we think Christianity and Christian politics, we think right wing or Republican or GOP, right? But there is a politics that is attached to some people that are in Christianity, and at the dogma end of Christianity, the religious end of Christianity, that actually are infiltrating spirituality with their politics. So it's coming from both sides. And anytime you have this infiltration, it throws everything off kilter and off balance. So we have some that were just like going along with all the programs and saying this was the right thing to do. And if it was the right thing to do for you to go along with everything that was asked of and required of you, or somewhat required of you over the last couple of years, that's, hey, listen, cool. Like that's you. And I have zero issue, because you have to make your own choices for yourself. You are a completely autonomous being. There's another side that I think is a tad bit more insidious. And that's probably a lot for me to say, and I know that's a very strong word. But there's the other side that's more insidious, and I say that because what happens is that because we changed our language to make it palatable, or so that they could understand what we were trying to say, now it's, oh, so now you're all about, and they've hijacked it. And all of a sudden now it's like somehow attached to like the 17th letter, movement, and all this other stuff. So that if you're not spouting off that you completely agree with the 17th letter movement, then you get blackballed. And then we have people with very large platforms. Thank goodness a couple of them have been taken down recently. But we have people with very large platforms that are now basically, and I've been saying this over and over again, guys, that are thriving because they are saying they're causing greater division. because they're saying, oh, if you did this and this and followed the whole spiel, then you're not going to be able to ascend. You're going to do that. You're just feeding into that. You're helping to strengthen the construct. You're going to have to come do this all over again because we are so amazing and wonderful. And we are the keepers of ascension and awakening. Bite me. You're not. You are not the keepers of anything but yourself. So we're having these rifts created. This is why I'm not your mama's light worker. I'm going to call you out. I don't care what side you're on, because you should not be having a side. There should not be a side if your goal and your mission is to usher in light, usher in love, usher in balance, usher in harmony. Am I saying that everything is equal or there's equity on the third dimensional level? Absolutely not. I'm not saying that. But I think we have to come to a realization that if we remain in that third dimensional realm and that's how we operate with each other, we are never going to get that, because the very foundation of 3D existence is polar opposites, is duality. There is not neutrality that exists in that construct. There's temporary truces. There's temporary détente. There's temporary peace. But eventually somebody gets jealous of somebody else, or somebody wants to exercise power over someone else. Because if there's a sustained peace in a 3D world, the world doesn't know how to act. It's got to find some sort of strife. It's got to find some sort of division. It's got to find some sort of upset. It has to. Because that's its very nature. That's why we came in human form, to experience that and then release some things and learn some things and grow into a higher dimensional self, or become very comfortable with it, or there's things we just wanted to experience. So how does one survive as a light worker and thrive? Not just survive, let's just say this, thrive as a light worker in this current status of the 3D matrix world? Well, the first thing is you have to figure out who the heck you are. And that's actually not that difficult. I can tell you right now who you are. Yeah, the standard, you're a higher dimensional being having a human experience. Absolutely, yes, you are. You are a divine god or goddess. You are a divine god or goddess. You are wonderfully and beautifully created. You've come here to help humanity in some way. You've come here to assist in the growth. If you're listening to me, I can guarantee you are. To what degree and to whom are you supposed to help? I can't answer that. You can find those answers within your lifetime up until this point. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. You can come to one of us, like myself or other readers that are trusted and neutral, and get perhaps a past life reading or get your natal chart read. Like, there are a lot of us that do these types of things, and we're able to see purpose, and we'll have to help you unlock those keys. But the first thing is, I suppose the first thing is you have to decide, even before then. So like 0 before 1 is you got to make a decision. You're not going to live in the matrix anymore, and you're ready to break out. So I'm offering you a blue and a red pill right now. So just in your mind, I'm offering you a blue and a red pill. Okay? Take the blue pill. You wake up like nothing happened, and you go back to your life as normal. And I won't bother you anymore. Take the red pill. and come on down the rabbit hole with me and let's see how far this goes. And it goes pretty deep. And decide to choose yourself and to choose the I am, which you are. So I guess I'll give you a second here. Blue pill or red pill? Which one are you going to do? Blue pill on the left hand, red pill on the right. What you doing? Do, 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 do. Okay, have you decided? Okay, great. So if you're still here, I'm assuming that you chose the red pill. Congratulations. Thank you. Some of you might have had to choose it again. Congratulations again. Welcome. Okay, to the other side. So now that you've taken the red pill, now who are you? Right? Are you a healer? Are you a teacher? Are you a creator of things? Are you a builder? Are you a business person? You can be a light worker and be a business person, right? Are you a shaman? Are you a high priest or a priestess? Are you a reader? Are you a seer? Are you a medium? You're all the things and none of the things all at the same time. So the reason why I put myself down as, or I introduced myself as Dr. Lisa Brewer, the Oracle, is because I am that I am. It's not egotistical. It is what it is. I'm here to speak knowledge and speak truth and to give you guidance. That's what I'm here for. And I'm here to be this quantum beautiful space, this ginormous oak tree that provides an area of creation and life, right? All within the branches and even the roots and the trunk. Every part of me is a quantum space. And there are others of us that are quantum spaces for creations and catalysts for creation. All right. So if you don't know for sure, you need to talk to one of us and find out. We can guide you to it, right? We can help you through that process. Then once we decide that, once we realize that, you need to come to a realization that you are capable of creating your own world. If we don't master manifestation, and if we don't master self, we are not going to make it. Because you're going to be too easily swayed with everything that's going on. And I mean swayed economically, emotionally, mentally, physically. You're going to be swayed. It's going to be too easy. You're not going to have a strong foundation. So the foundation is critical. Lay the foundation down and create your foundation, because that doesn't exist in the 3D realm, and it's going to not exist even more. So we have to master this concept. We have to master and we have to embrace and we have to learn to utilize our shadow. That's another thing that's been such, like, I think, over commercialized within light work. Oh, I'm doing shadow work. I'm doing my shadow work. I'm going through my dark night of the soul. Let me tell you something. Some of y'all have been going through a dark night of the soul for about 15 years. When you gonna come out? When you gonna hit the light switch and come on out? When are you going to stop using the I'm going through my dark night of the soul as an excuse to not get up and do what you're supposed to do? When are you going to say I'm going through a dark night of the soul and it's just such a darn, like, it's so hard, right? Such a challenge that it gives you the excuse to not grow and expand? When are you going to stop doing that? Because what shadow energy is, it is dense, explosive power. It's light that's densified. There's healing and there's power in your trauma. There's power in your pain. Some would call it evil. That's pretty harsh. But I was just listening to something Jordan Peterson was talking about. And he was talking about how Carl Jung, who, if you're not aware, Carl Jung really is the forefather or one of the forefathers or creators of the current iteration of astrology and how we understand natal charts. Yeah. And he talked about how important it was to not only acknowledge our shadow, but understand it and then basically allow it to be a controlled burn. Paraphrasing my own words. But what we do is we take that dark night of the soul, we take that inner child work, we take that I'm going to do shadow work, and we use it as an excuse to basically stay where we're at and never truly grow and ascend. I'm here to tell you that if you're stuck in the shadow work and you haven't yet come out of it, you need to get with somebody that's going to throw you a lifeline once you make the decision that you're going to come out. Because if you get stuck there, you're going to get stuck in the midst of this whole 3D BS. Because you're not going to have mastered yourself to being able to be truly balanced and neutral. I know I have a shadow side. I know I have like this, what can be a nasty, ugly temper. You guys might be like, no way. It's there. Oh, it's there. The lava is there. And I know that I'm very careful to be sure that I let off some of that steam of that volcano. Otherwise, if I keep it stuffed, what happens is what's happened time and time again until I realized what I needed to do. And that I would stuff it. Then all of a sudden I'd explode. All of a sudden I'd explode. And everybody be like, what the heck? And then I become this passive aggressive, ugly witch. So, well, actually, I became a bitch. And people didn't deserve it. It would just be, it'd be like I was just like committing a mass aggressive lava. Like there was so much collateral damage. It was terrible until I learned, until I acknowledged it, until I was like, okay, well, this is, wow. All right, cool. Now I can acknowledge it. Now you know what I do with that? I let it out. I let that steam off. Sometimes I will let a little lava burst happen now and again. I have it in a controlled status. But now I can tap into that energy and allow the light to expand. And I can learn so much easier and clear and overcome and reintegrate. It is so important for us to integrate the shadow and not just try to eradicate it. So some of you are stuck in that shadow. So now you're going down this rabbit hole with me. You didn't think that that's what I was going to tell you. Some of you are so stuck in the shadow that you cannot come outside yourself enough to come outside the why is this happening to me syndrome. Why does everything always happen to me? Why does everything always happen to me? Da da da. If it's not one thing, it's another and another and another. Come out of that. It's not happening to you, it's happening for you. I guarantee you the minute you realize it's happening for you and not happening to you, the liberation. Because then I can look at every challenge and I can now say, it's happening for my good. Where's the good? Where's the lesson? What am I supposed? I get excited. Oh, shit's going wrong. What lesson am I supposed to learn today? Right? This is how, as light workers, we're going to survive. I've seen so many talk about how, well, this now there's this split even with amongst us between those who are like, well, y'all talking about y'all living in the 3D and and there's a problem. No, there's no problem. Sis, you want to stay there, stay there. That's how you want to live there. I don't, that's your choice. But if we do not learn how to create for ourselves and operate in an economy of energy exchange so that we look at everything as energy exchange. Everything is energy exchange. Everything. Money is an energy. Bitcoin is an energy. Gold, silver is an energy. You want to give me a car to pay for services? Great, fabulous. You want to give me, some chickens or whatever? Yeah, okay, cool. Everything is an energy. Okay? Until we begin to look at everything as an energy exchange, an energetic exchange, and we put such a high value there on the money situation, on money itself, and not the resultant of what we're going to use that money for, the money itself, and not what we're going to use the money for, our health, if we put so much focus on our health that it's become like an obsession, but in a bad way, and not looked at what we're putting in our body, or not looked at the fact that we haven't healed from certain things or acknowledged certain things. We keep giving energy to negative things that are going to drag us down rather than putting our energy into the positive that's going to elevate us and then therefore begin to help elevate the rest of humanity in the collective consciousness. This is what I'm saying. If we don't figure this out, you know those movies Left Behind? Y'all remember the movie? The Left Behind series? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So this is my thing. I can see how there could be potentially a rapture situation. Because at some point, it's going to reach critical mass and there's a split. In the twinkling of an eye, right? Energy, twinkling of an eye. Our energy shifts. We shift into higher dimensional beings. And we're actually gradually doing it now. I don't know about you. Who was it? I was chatting with someone earlier today, and they were talking about how certain individuals are saying that they don't need to eat, right, as much when you are more fifth, like you're higher dimensional, like you become more of a crystalline being. And I had never really heard that, but it makes perfect sense. Like I eat maybe once a day. And that's, if I remember, I had to eat before I recorded this because I was like, oh, I'm actually hungry. But I only usually eat about once a day. Lots of liquids, lots of water, chai tea, or I found some other like really cool like amino acid and other, some kind of really cool drink. But yeah, I don't, because your body doesn't require as much fuel. Why is your body not requiring as much fuel? You're changing. Your body is changing. There's a split coming. So I could see how that could be. I could see where the writer, John, when he wrote it on Patmos and the vision that he got, it probably looked like this, like blink, right? It was a boom. But I feel like it was an energetic, like, like explosion, right? And then there's this kind of city that kind of descends and people have to, the rest of the world is ruled with rod and iron, but there's this kind of like coming back and forth between this higher dimension. Well, I do believe that that's going to be higher dimensional beings that are basically, kind of mentoring, if you will, guiding the earth in some form of leadership capabilities. So I can see how that could happen. If we, in order to survive as a light worker, because the other thing, we talked about the bit of the censorship, guys, it's not going to get better right away. So I would be prepared for, if you are working in, and so many of us have been talking about this, Leo King and some others, about there being the potentiality. I've been talking about it where it would be kind of like Salem witch trials all over in a different way. We're seeing that happen where, the occult is being, oh no, 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 no. I don't doubt that it at some point probably would be being made, almost being trying to be made to be illegal. Who knows? But this is the other reason why there's such a infiltration by this Christianity consciousness that's not really Christ consciousness. It's a Christianity dogma, because there's going to be approved readers. There's going to be approved spiritual people. There's going to be approved mediums. Oh, they were fine. Look, they did this, this, and this all the way through. They are approved. But anybody else that lights candles or openly says that your prayers are spells, and so just know that, or reads the tarot, or does astrology, or knows about the herbs and things to use, those people, Salem witch trials. Only it's different on social media. Only it's different in this internet age. All the hidden wisdom they're trying to keep hidden because we're unlocking it at an unbelievable rate. You need to keep going. The way you survive this, the way you thrive in this, is you learn that you within can create. And not only do you learn that, but you actually put it into practice. Stop being scared of manifesting what it is you know you deserve and what you want. Stop being scared of the next level. Stop limiting yourself and saying, but I don't have. Okay, then manifest it. But I can't do. Absolutely you can. You start somewhere and then you grow. You plant your seed and you put your attention and intention towards that, and then you grow. And stop looking at people like myself or others that are giving you the opportunities to do these things and berating us and belittling us and saying, oh, well, they're about the money. There are some people out here, there are some shysters out here that are all about the money. I will give you that. But there are a lot more of us out here that are like, could you please I just want you to evolve. I just want you to not think that money is evil, because it's an energy. That's all it is. It can be used for evil or it can be used for good. And if it's paying your bills because you're operating and walking in your purpose, then you're using it for good. This isn't a prosperity message. This isn't anything. I don't want you to keep saying, oh, I'm hearing all of these things from the doctor, this, the doctor, that, da, 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 and then just like that's your lot in life. No, go to the doctor, take care of your health. But while you're taking care of your physical health, will you please take care of your energetic health? What the hell are you still holding on to? And if you're not still holding on to something, what do we just need to heal? What do we just need to release? What do you finally need to let go and let loose? I tell you that there are so many people, mostly women, that are coming to me and saying, I just want to help people live their best life. I just want to help people be empowered. I just want to help people get through all this, because we have held so much within ourselves. We have kept so much pain within ourselves and buried it because we've been told that we can't say anything. Just keep smiling and keep going. And it is hurting us. So all my women, and you know what? Could I get some men folk around here that are willing to walk in that realm too? All my people that are ready to step outside the box and ready not to just survive, but thrive, because they're ready to step into their full spiritual self. I'm here. We're here, ready to help you and ready to help show you the way. unlock, and you can find the way yourself, unlock the mysteries from within, believe in yourself. Don't be the light worker that everyone else is. Damn it. Be the light warrior. Be the God and the goddess. Be the universe. Be creator. Be mother, father, God. Be an aspect of all that is divine and of love and of harmony. Love one another and step into your purpose. This is the only way you're going to survive. This is the only way you're going to thrive. Do what you love. Do what brings you in harmony with the earth and with harmony with humanity. And most importantly, harmony with Creator and the collective consciousness. I know you can, and I know you will. Thank you for being with us for another episode. I so very much appreciate you. Please do check the links and the information down in the box below or on the side or wherever you find the show notes. Until next time, peace, love, blessings, and joy be unto you today, tomorrow, and for all eternity. I love you very much. Namaste.